Hey party people, it's Miss Saxon. Today we're going to continue our lesson Up in Space. Hey everybody, today we're on day 2, Community Workers Up in Space. This is the form that you're going to need for us to complete. We're only going to complete the Up in Space week 3, day 2 column. And then the next lesson we will talk about Mae Jemison. So what you need for this lesson is your Up in Space article and this handout. I've sent both of these through Microsoft Teams, or you can go to the DCPS website and download the packet. Again, it's for grade K, but students in 1st and 2nd grade can do this as well. So what we're going to do first is we're going to review what we already learned when we read our story. We learned that people whose job it is to go to space are called astronauts. They use spaceships to get to space. That's how they travel. And we also learned what astronauts do, and that's they help us learn about space. So today, when we go back to our community workers, we're going to look at what is their function. And function basically means, what do they do? What is their job? If we look at what we already learned, right here it says these are people whose job it is to go to space. So we can write that right here in this block. We also learned once they get into space, their whole point of their job is to help us learn about space. So help us learn So you can think of them as like teachers, and they teach us everything there is to know about space, other planets, the atmosphere, what the Earth is like, and that is what their job is. Our next space says the location. Where do they work? So let's talk about something that we already know. We know teachers. Where do teachers work? If you said in school, you are right on track. So where do astronauts work? Well, if we go back to our article, they work out in space. So we're going to write, you can just write the word space, or you can write a whole sentence. If you're in the 2nd grade, write a complete sentence. Or if you're in the 1st grade, you can write a complete sentence as well. They work in space, and I'll go ahead and write the whole thing. Okay, so there you go. They work in space. Now, what tools do they use? If we go back to the article and we look right here where right after they learn how to use a spaceship, they also learn how to fix a spaceship. So let's circle fix a spaceship, because they need tools to fix a spaceship. And they don't tell us exactly what type of tools they use, like a hammer or a drill. But so we'll just write special tools for space. And that can be the spaceship, that can be the space station, that can be the actual rocket or shuttle that they're on. If they go out and do jobs outside in actual space, they would need special tools. And the article really doesn't tell us what those special tools are, and that's okay. We just need to know that there are special things. So if we go back to thinking about what a teacher uses a blackboard or a computer or handouts. Those would be our tools. It's not necessarily like a hammer and nails, but any type of technology, material, or object that you need to do your job, that would be the tools. Okay, the last block says, what kind of uniform do they have? And the story actually does tell us about this. It says astronauts have special spacesuits. And if you look in the picture right here, you can see they have some type of helmet, that gives them oxygen. They also have something kind of, if you think about what a fireman may wear, an extra heavy protective suit to protect them from the cold and the heat. And that says it right here. The suits make sure they get enough air. The suits also stop them from getting too hot or cold. So that's what they use, is a space suit. So if you come back here to the uniform, you can write space suit. And again, if you're in the first grade, or especially the second grade, I would need you to write a complete sentence in this area. So you can write the astronauts wear a spacesuit, or the spacesuit is used to give them oxygen and to keep them from getting too hot or too cold. Any one of those choices are fine. So that is our Up in Space Community and Beyond section that's filled. What their function is, what do? They go to space and help us learn about space. The location is they work in space. I know I'm saying space a lot, but that's the only word that we can really use, or outer space. Tools, they use special tools that are meant for space. So that would be anything that, you can, that also is going to have to be protected from heat or extreme cold. It's able to work without electricity. So it's tools that are specific to their job. And then the last one is their uniform, is they wear a spacesuit. Okay, so the next video, we're actually going to learn about Mae Jemison, and I will attach that article and for the next video. Okay, see you in the next video.